Hi. Family Read Aloud time. It is 6. It is Thursday. Pretty sure. Thursday, May 14th. Crazy, we're like halfway through May already. And it's March 14th. It was the last day the library was open. It's so crazy to think about. Anyway, we are reading our book. We are reading Stella Diaz Has Something to Say by Angela Dominguez. And when we left off, Angela and her whole class, Angela's the author. Stella and her whole class have to do presentations in front of the class, and they have to speak for 5 minutes. And Stella's very nervous about that. She wants to do a presentation on fish, but she's very nervous about the speaking in front of the class, especially for that length of time. So she's talking to her brother, Nick, and Nick's trying to support her and reassure her, and he comes up with the idea that maybe they can go to the aquarium. And that's where we left off yesterday. So we're going to pick up with it today and see how much farther she gets with her presentation in front of the class. So we are on chapter 14. Okay, ready? Stella, sit over here. I hear Jenny calling me from across the cafeteria. I walk over with my tray, and as I get closer, I can see Anna is there sitting next to Jenny. My hands start to shake, which makes my chocolate pudding jiggle on the tray. I sit down next to Jenny. Anna waves hello. Thanks for letting me sit with you guys, says Anna. My best friend Isabel is sick today. I usually eat with her. She pouts a little bit. Quietly let out a sigh of relief. Yes, Anna has her own best friend. No problem. It's hard to eat lunch without your best friend, I say, smiling as I shove a chicken tender into my mouth. Thanks, Stella. Can I trade you an ants on a log for a chicken tender? Anna holds up a piece of celery with peanut butter and raisins. Sure, I reply. We exchange grins as we trade food. Any person who's willing to share food with me can be my friend. The more we talk, the more I can see why Jenny is friends with Anna. She has a cat, a goldfish, and is pretty funny. I could actually picture us eating lunch together again, maybe even with Isabel. You guys have your Valentine's Day cards ready for tomorrow? Asked Jenny. I do. Anna nods. I can't wait for the class party. I tighten my lips. Almost. I'll finish them tonight. Usually I would have finished them by now, but selecting Valentine's Day cards this year has been tricky. Mom makes me give Valentines to all the kids in my class, even the ones I don't like. With most kids, I can give them something simple like Happy Valentine's Day. That works for Jessica, who I have to give one to. But I don't know which card to choose for Stanley. Happy Valentine's Day would be boring. I also can't choose the Be My Valentine card. No way could I do the Will You Be Mine card. When I get home from school, I finally choose You're the Coolest for Stanley because it's the truth. I also spend a lot of time writing out his name nicely. I hope when he reads it, he'll realize that I'm normal and not weird. Then things will get better in class. We might even be friends. While I write everyone else's names on their envelopes, Nick watches Jaws on television. I'm helping you research for your project, he says. Some help. I have to hide behind the couch for most of the movie. Out of all the sea creatures, I'm most afraid of great white sharks. People say they don't attack humans that often, but after watching the movie, I'm not sure. Jaws, the great white shark in the movie, really seemed to like attacking people. The next day, I bring the cards for my classmates with me. There are balloons and hearts decorating the entire classroom. I spy Mom in the corner hanging up a streamer. Mom always takes a break from work to help out with parties as the classroom mom. I love her being here. She makes it a little easier since she is so friendly and gets to know all the kids. Also, Mom is chatty enough for the two of us, so I follow her everywhere as she walks around the room. I'm busy eating a cupcake when I see Mom talking to Stanley. I've never told her about Stanley. He just cut his hair short and it looks super soft. Mom says to him, I love your haircut. My son Nick just cut his hair like that. Do you mind if I touch your hair? It looks like a teddy bear. Stanley just grins and says, yes, ma'am. Mom pets his head. Yep, just like a teddy bear. They both laugh and Stanley turns a little roja. I'm surprised. I didn't think Stanley could ever get embarrassed. Then I hear Jessica whisper in my ear, "Are you hiding behind your mommy?" I turn around, my own face roja. Mom turns around too. Apparently, Jessica wasn't quiet enough. Mom stands up extra tall and says, "Yes, I'm Stella's mother. Nice to meet you." Jessica drops her mouth open and her face goes blank. She's been caught in the act. I beam. "Yes, this is my mom." Unhappy that she can't say anything else to me, Jessica huffs, puffs, and walks away. Having Mom around is the greatest. After the Valentine's Day party, Mom drives us home. The radio starts playing my favorite song. I open my mouth to sing, but she lowers the music. "You know, Stella, someone can only make you feel bad if you let them. It's just words." I can see her eyes looking at me in the rearview mirror. She looks worried. I hate making her worry. I hoped that she would never find out. "It doesn't feel like it's just words. Plus, you're lucky everyone likes you." "Not everyone likes me. I just decided I wasn't going to let it affect me as much. It'll work for you too, I promise." I look out the window. At the stoplight, I feel her hands reaching back to me. I grab onto it tight. It makes me feel safe. "You're so much stronger than you realize. That's why your full name is Estrella. You're my star. You can light up the dark." "You promise you aren't lying?" I look into her eyes in the rearview mirror. She looks right back at me and says, "Promise." "Thanks, Mom." I don't 100% believe her, but Mom never lies. Chapter 15. "Wow, Stella, that's such a great dolphin," Miss Bell says as she looks down at my project. She leans over to me. "Can you do me a favor? We need a poster for the third grade spelling bee tomorrow. Since you're an expert at drawing dolphins, would you be interested in doing it?" I sit up and exclaim, "Yes!" "Wonderful. I'll give you the poster and materials." Ever since I shared Captain Robin Monkey with Miss Bell, she has been giving me extra projects. She also gives me story ideas all the time. Some of them are not that great, but I love that she talks to me as if I'm a good writer. Dolphins are also the mascot of my school. On the last day of first grade, we got to vote for a new mascot. I voted for the dolphins because back then I mixed up cute little penguins with dolphins. I was really bummed when I saw a dolphin mural instead of a penguin mural when we got back from summer vacation. That's when I started learning all about fishes and all marine life. "Come, Stella, let's go to the supply closet to see what you need." Together we select glitter, markers, and a poster board, and she puts it in a tote bag for me. "I can't wait to see what you'll do," she says. As soon as I get home, I draw a dolphin jumping with big letters that spell out spelling bee. I even put glitter on the waves to make it feel more magical. I'm so happy that I even show Poncho. "Look, Poncho," I say. He zips around his fishbowl. I'm pretty sure that means he likes it. The next morning, I proudly stare at my poster as I eat my bowl of cereal. It's so great that my poster will be on display for everyone to see. Then I start thinking about the spelling bee. I don't mind spelling out loud too much, but I also have never done a spelling bee in my life. I ask Nick, "Have you ever done a spelling bee before?" "Yep. They're pretty fun. Let's practice. I'll quiz you." "Okay," I reply. "Spell Bigfoot." He smirks. I groan. "Okay, what about alligator?" I groan again. Mom takes a sip of her cafe and says, "I'm sure you'll do fantastico." Despite Mom's encouragement in the morning, I'm so nervous by lunch. Lauren is sitting with us today. Ever since we ate lunch together, she joins Jenny and me a couple times a week when she isn't reading. I'm about to ask Jenny about the spelling bee when Jessica interrupts us. "Look, it's the weirdo twosome." I think about what Mom said on Valentine's Day. So instead of looking up at Jessica, I pretend to ignore her. My heart is racing, but I just look forward and talk to Jenny. "What do you want to do next Saturday? My mom said we could go to the movies." Jenny plays along. "Ooh, I'll bring candy then." This makes Jessica angry. "Did you guys hear what I said? I called you weirdos." "Did you hear something?" Jenny says, putting her hand to her ear. "Nothing worth listening to," I reply. "Ugh," says Jessica as she storms out. "Wow, what's her problem?" whispers Lauren. We shrug, then Jenny and I give each other a quick fist bump, and I take a big bite out of my delicious peanut butter sandwich. Secretly, I don't know if I could have been so brave without Jenny. However, I realize that Mom was right. Suddenly, I feel less nervous about the spelling bee. Oh, excuse me. The spelling bee finally happens that afternoon back in the cafeteria. I see my poster hanging on the stage. The other third grade classes did posters too, but all the kids in my class agree mine is the best. "Looks so good," Michelle gives me a high five. Even Stanley says so. At least I think so. I just see his mouth move, and I begin to turn away. But then I remember him turning Roja on Valentine's Day. I force myself to stop and say to him, thanks, then turn around before he can say anything else. Since all the classes in my grade are doing the spelling bee, Jenny is already there. I rush over to sit next to her. She is sitting next to Anna and another girl. Anna is smiling much more than any of the other times I've seen her. I know it's because the other girl has to be her best friend, Isabel. Being that happy is just what happens whenever you're near your best friend. After I say hi to Jenny and Anna, I whisper, hi, Isabel. She waves back. I was right. Our principal, Miss Richards, is on stage with a microphone. She has on her dolphin pin, which she only wears on special days. Welcome, third graders! Today is the annual spelling bee. We're going to be doing it alphabetically, of course. We will have prizes for those who make it into the second round, and a big prize for the grand winner. Everyone claps. The prizes at our school are pretty awesome. Kids have won school t-shirts, dolphin-shaped pencils, even a pizza party. I whisper to Jenny, I hope we get a pizza party. Jenny nods. Miss Richards calls all the students with a last name that start with an A onto the stage. I start to get clammy hands and a sweaty forehead. I didn't know we had to go on stage. Trisha Abrahams heads to the microphone first. Miss Richards says, Trisha, please spell the word happiest. Trisha looks around. Then she says, happiest. H-A-P-P-Y-E-S-T. Happiest. Miss Richards presses a buzzer, which makes a big noise. Sorry, Trisha. That's wrong. Good try. Take a seat back in the audience. Jessica Anderson, do you know? Miss Richards asks. Jessica sticks out her chest and says loudly, yes, it's happiest. H-A-P-P-I-E-S-T. Happiest. Miss Richards presses another buzzer, which makes a perky ding noise. She says, correct. Jessica, please take a seat on the stage. I don't want to hear the noise. What if I get a word that I don't know how to spell, or worst of all, don't know how to say? My stomach starts to hurt. Maybe I could go to the nurse. I wish Mom didn't have to work. Some of the other kids get to go home when they go to the nurse, but Mom can only pick me up if it's an emergency. Maybe this is a real emergency. I mean, a stomachache could be a sign of something else that I don't even know about. Before I can figure out my escape plan, Miss Richards says, will all the children with last names beginning with D come up to the stage? I look at Jenny and whisper, I don't want to. You'll be great, Stella. You got this, she says as she pats my back. It makes me feel a little better, but my legs feel wobbly like flan as I walk onto the stage. There are two students in front of me. The lights are so bright I can't even see what's going on. Then I hear Miss Richards say, Estrella Diaz, will you come up to the microphone? I gulp, nod my head yes, and walk up to the microphone. My hands and every part of me are shaking. Estrella, please spell disappear. I freeze. I wish I could disappear. If I spell it wrong, everyone's going to laugh. I look at Miss Bell, then Jenny. Both are smiling at me. I feel a little bit better when my throat is closed up like I have cotton candy stuck in there. Then I remember what Mom said. I'm stronger than I realized. Finally, I close my eyes. Disappear. D. Miss Richards says, louder, dear. I nod. D-I-S-A-P-P-E-A-R. Disappear. I hear a ding noise. Miss Richards says, correct. You get to move to the next round. Take a seat on stage. I'm surprised. That wasn't so bad. My voice didn't sound so weird on the microphone. It sounded okay. I sit down and wait for the next round. I actually can't wait to go again. It takes a long time to get through the rest of the students. There are about 80 of us all together, so there are many dings and ers. Jenny makes it through to the next round, and of course Stanley does too. The next word I have to spell is knowledge, and I, of course, know how to spell it. Knowledge-E. I swear the ding sounds just a little bit more special the second time. I make it all the way to the third round, or the semifinals, when I misspell the word dandelion. Honestly, hearing the noise wasn't so bad, especially since there were only 6 students left on stage with me. I get so caught up with the spelling bee that the only way I know that I made it to the semifinals is that I get a pink ribbon with a gold star that says semifinalist. Chris Pollard ends up winning it all with the word gregarious. I don't even know what that means. Stanley also has a pink ribbon, which is surprising. I thought he'd win it all. Maybe we're alike in some ways. Anyway, Jenny helps me put my ribbon on as we walk past the dolphin mural, and then we link arms. We make ding and noises to each other. Maybe we sound like dolphins. No, better yet, robots, I whisper to Jenny. We both giggle as we start walking like robots. I wear my ribbon proudly the rest of the day. Can't wait to show Mom, I say quietly to myself. Then I say even softer, maybe the presentation won't be so bad. This time I kind of believe it too. Chapter 16. When Mom gets home from work, she makes a big deal about my spelling bee ribbon, which I don't mind. She cries, "Mi bebe!" I usually don't like it when she says my baby in public, but at home it makes me hug her even more. This calls for a celebration. How about a trip to the biblioteca and some frozen yogurt afterward? I squeal and spell Y-E-S. That sounds like a great night. I also squeal because I love hearing the word biblioteca. It's such a fun word, and I love going to the library. Mom changes out of her suit. As soon as Nick and I see her in her jeans and a sweatshirt, we know it's time to go. Are you going to get any books for your project, Stella? She asks as she grabs her car keys. I would like a book on starfishes. Mom, did you know that if a starfish loses an arm, I hide one of my arms behind my back and then stick it out, they can grow one back? I wiggle my hand in amazement. She nods. Did you know some people are as strong as starfishes? What do you mean, Mom? You mean like superheroes, I ask? She laughs. I just mean that some people have to go through tough things and they can bounce back. Like Frida Kahlo. Oh, then I ask, who's Frida Kahlo? I'll tell you more about her in the car, says Mom. She's fascinating. Turns out Frida Kahlo was a Mexican painter who made beautiful paintings. She was in a bus accident when she was very young and had to stay in bed for months. That's when she learned how to paint. She became one of the most famous painters ever. Wow, I exclaim. Hearing about Frida makes me feel proud to be from the same country. We can get a book on her at the biblioteca tonight, Mom says as she pulls into the library parking lot. Now, the library at school is pretty cool, but the public library near my house is incredible. It has 3 levels and beanbag chairs in the kids section. I like to go to the reference section and look at the huge books on marine life. They have so many pictures. The library also has art exhibits and art contests. One time I got 3rd place. We had to draw a scene from our favorite book, and mine was from James and the Giant Peach. It was the scene where the peach gets stuck on top of the Empire State Building. I found this really cool photo of the building so I could see how to draw it and added many little seagulls. Mom framed it at home and always says that one day it will be very valuable. When we get to the library, I see a sign near the front door that reads, "Local author presentation in the auditorium." Mom, can we go, por favor? I ask. If I say please, Mom usually says yes. Mom looks at her watch, then at me. I'm giving her the biggest puppy dog eyes I can. She nods yes and gives me a kiss on the head. Nick says it starts in 30 minutes. Time to move it, as he runs over to the graphic novels. In the meantime, I spot more books on marine animals while Mom looks for a book on Frida Kahlo and some mystery novels for herself. Since I've already done research at the library for my project, I know exactly where the fish books are. I only have a few more fishes to go, and I also want to get more photos for the starfish page that I'm finishing. I find a picture of a royal starfish that's purple with an orange border. Nick wanders over with a stack of graphic novels and peeks over my shoulder. I can't wait to draw it, I whisper. I'm sure it will be great, like the rest of your drawings, little Miss Frida Kahlo. I giggle. You think they'll have one at the Shed Aquarium? Nick shrugs his shoulders. Maybe. Also, Mom's a little busy with work, so I don't know when exactly we will go. Nick's been so great about the presentation. He told Mom about the Shed Aquarium idea, and now I just hope we really can go. We've also been brainstorming how to make my presentation more interesting, and he suggested that I should be a fisherman. That sounds a little boring, but then I came up with the idea of doing a submarine. I just need to finish my research before I start building it. Nick says, "Come on, champ, time to go." I grab his arm and we run over to Mom, who was standing near the auditorium. We enter just as the show is starting. Not only is it an author, but it's a children's book author and a girl. She starts the presentation by reading out loud a few of her books. One of them is even in English and Spanish. How cool is that? Obviously, I understand both parts. Later, she speaks about how she got started as an author. She grew up in Texas like Stanley. Turns out she had problems speaking as a kid, just like me. She would switch the letters around. Everyone thought she wasn't really smart. Because of that, she read even more and made herself write all the time. Then she decided that's what she wanted to do when she grew up. I whisper to Mom, "Oh, she's a starfish." She puts her arm around me and kisses me on the top of the head. Then I realize that maybe I'm a starfish too. My name is Estrella, after all. When I get home, I draw the royal starfish. As soon as I'm done, I whisper to Pancho, "Don't tell anyone, but I might want to be an author one day." Pancho, of course, doesn't say anything. He's the best at keeping secrets. I think that is where we're going to leave off for today. We'll pick up with chapter 17 tomorrow. That was cool. I loved the trip to the biblioteca. That was fun. I'm enjoying it. And I will hope you have a good night. We'll be back tomorrow at 6. Read some more. We must be getting close to the presentation time. I don't have that many chapters left in the book. I think that's it. Okay. Bye.